What's up, guys? Welcome back to the UFC arena. We're talking UFC 260, Stipe Miocic versus Francis Ngannou. This card is not as stacked as some of the other cards, but there's still some really good fights. It's a pretty top-heavy card. So we're gonna start with Sean O'Malley versus Thomas Almeida, and I love this fight. I love me some Sean O'Malley. Sean O'Malley is awesome. People think that it's all hype, people think that the hype train ended when he lost to Chito Vera. But from just watching Sean O'Malley, you could see that the man has skills. The man is fast, he has excellent movement, he has excellent striking, and Sean O'Malley is the real deal, folks. And it's only a matter of time before people gonna start coming around again. We all know that MMA fans, for the most part, they're pretty fickle. You win, they love you. You lose, all of a sudden you're trash, you're hype, you were never good. I'm still on the Sean O'Malley hype train. I think he is as good as he says he is, and from watching him, I think that he's definitely gonna be a problem in this division. He's fighting Thomas Almeida, and Thomas Almeida is also a tough fighter. You can also say that Sean O'Malley is who Thomas Almeida used to be, because Thomas Almeida was coming up in this division undefeated, knocking out everybody, and everyone thought that he was gonna be the next big thing. And then he ran into Cody Garbrandt, who really was the next big thing, and yeah, that was it for Almeida. After that, he got knocked out a few times, and his career has been pretty up and down. But Almeida, make no mistake, is still a very good fighter. The thing is, these fighters that Almeida is losing to, they are good fighters, like top contenders for the most part. Cody Garbrandt became champion. Jimmy Rivera is still a high-ranked contender. Rob Font is a very highly ranked contender now. Jonathan Martinez, that loss doesn't look too good for him. But Almeida is a good fighter. I think Sean O'Malley is just on the way up, and I feel like Almeida trying to figure some things out. And he's a striker, and I don't think that striking with Sean O'Malley is the best thing. So I'm gonna go with Sean O'Malley. I think he's going to knock him out, let's say in the second round, and Sean O'Malley is gonna shock the world. He's gonna, well, not really shock the world, but he's gonna prove that he really is as good as he says he is. That's what I think. Oh boy, could you imagine if I'm so wrong on this and Sean O'Malley gets knocked out? That's the fight game though. Anyway, moving on to the next fight, Tyron Woodley versus Vicente Luque. I think it's over for Tyron Woodley, honestly. I feel like a lot of people don't realize how old Tyron Woodley is, because I don't hear people talking about it as often as I think they should. Tyron Woodley is 38 years old, about to be 39 in April. So this man is almost 40 years old, and he is not getting better. To me, Woodley has reached his ceiling, and he does not fight to his full potential, even with the ceiling that he has reached. Like, Woodley is one of the most frustrating fighters for me to watch, because he would not, for anything, get his back off the fence. He's content to just sit on the fence and waste entire rounds just waiting to land a big shot, waiting on his right hand, and because of that, he has lost 3 fights, 15 rounds straight, because he's just waiting on a big shot. He can't go forward. He tried a little bit to be aggressive in the first round of the Gilbert Burns fight. That didn't work out too well for him, and then he just went back into his same routine, waiting on the fence. So it's not that he can't, it's not like he doesn't have the ability, because he's a strong wrestler, but who knows why he doesn't wrestle as much. Maybe because he gets tired wrestling. He likes to complain. I remember way back in the day, Woodley used to complain when people talk about his gas tank, and he used to try to prove a point to say, my gas tank is good, I could go 5 rounds. I went 5 rounds with Wonderboy twice, but he didn't really wrestle in those fights, only in like the first round. And something tells me that he's not afraid, but he doesn't want to wrestle because he would get tired. And I feel like he doesn't wrestle, like he hasn't been training wrestling as much as he used to. So I feel like his wrestling has declined a bit, because it's even harder for him to get takedowns, and it shouldn't be that way. And to see him get dominated on the ground by Kamaru, dominated on the ground by Colby, and even he got taken down twice by Gilbert Burns, like, His wrestling is not holding up. We always talk about his wrestling, but then when come time for the fight, we're not seeing it in action. That's kind of like Jose Aldo leg kicks. People kept talking about Jose Aldo's leg kicks, the most vicious leg kicks, even when he hasn't been throwing leg kicks for the last 3, 4, maybe 5 fights. And people are still talking about, oh, but watch out for them leg kicks though. No, he doesn't really throw leg kicks anymore. Who knows why? Maybe he injured his leg. It's the same for Woodley. Woodley does not wrestle very often. And now he's going against Vicente Luque, who is a young, hungry fighter. And Vicente Luque is a tough fight for Woodley. Now, granted, Vicente Luque is not going to take down Tyron Woodley and dominate him on the ground, but I think he's going to outstrike Woodley. Now, Woodley, he does have this knockout power that he always tries to rely on every single fight. I'm sure this fight is going to look like most of his other fights. He's going to sit back against the fence, wait, try to knock out Vicente Luque with a big right hand. That's Woodley's entire game plan. Maybe try a takedown, but if it fails, he's going to give up on the takedowns and never go back to it. I'm going to go with Vicente Luque for this fight. I think he's going to outstrike Woodley, and I say he's going to win by decision because it is pretty hard to finish Woodley. So I say Vicente Luque is going to win this fight because Vicente Luque is almost 10 years younger than Woodley, right? Vicente Luque isn't even 30 years old yet. He's young. He is improving, and I think that's it for Woodley. So I'm going to go with Vicente Luque by decision. And now for the main event of the evening. Stipe Miocic versus Francis Ngannou. I love this fight, but I hate this fight at the same time because I like both of them. I don't want Ngannou to lose, and I definitely don't want Stipe to lose. But if I had to choose between them guys, I have to choose Stipe. Stipe is just my boy. I've been backing Stipe from since way back when Stipe knocked out Verdum for the title. I was like, whoa, this man is for real, this man is legit. And since then, I've been behind Stipe. Even when he got knocked out by Cormier, I was like, nah, Stipe, you need to get back that belt. That second fight with Cormier and Stipe is one of my favorite fights ever because of Stipe's fight IQ and the adjustment that he made to go to the body. That was beautiful, and I loved that fight. And I was very excited when Stipe won the trilogy because, at this point, guys, Stipe is the GOAT of heavyweight. I know some people say Fedor. If that's your preference, okay, sure, but to me it's Stipe hands down, right? Fedor, he never came to the UFC, but he has fought a bunch of UFC people. So if you want to go with the argument for Fedor, okay, I won't fight it down, but I think it's Stipe. It's not Kane, it's not JDS, it's not anybody else. It's just between those two. It's not Verdum, it's Stipe. And we all know that Stipe and Ngannou fought once before. Granted, that was a different Ngannou. This Ngannou is a little more intelligent. He has more experience, and this fight, I'm pretty sure, is not gonna go the same way the first fight went. Ngannou's gonna make sure of that. But I still back in Stipe. I think that Stipe is such an intelligent champion. I think that his camp comes up with some great game plans, and it's an underrated camp because if you look at the adjustments that Stipe made in the second and especially in the third Cormier fight, where he kept holding on to Cormier's hands so Cormier can't strike him on the clinch because that's the knockout that Cormier was looking for. He completely neutralized Cormier. He pressed him against the fence. Stipe is a smart fighter, and Stipe fights to win. And I think that he would find a way to beat Ngannou. Now that is no easy task. Ngannou is bar none the scariest heavyweight in this division. This man will put you to sleep. He landed some bombs on Stipe in the first fight, but don't get it messed up. This man could 100% put Stipe to sleep, and it's a scary fight. I'm going to be at the edge of my seat for this fight. I'm backing Stipe to win. I think that he'll be able to bob and weave like he did. Stipe had some beautiful head movements in the first fight as well. When Ngannou was fresh and Ngannou was coming forward with those vicious bombs, Stipe was bopping and weaving, and he was able to get out of the way of a lot of Ngannou's power until Ngannou got tired. Now, Ngannou, learning from that experience, I think he's going to be better, but I don't think Ngannou is going to have 5-round cardio. We know Stipe could go for 5 rounds. Ngannou hasn't had to come out the first round since that horrible fight with Derek Lewis. After that, man has knocked out everybody in the first round. So I don't think Ngannou's cardio is gonna be the same place where Stipe's cardio is, and I think Stipe is gonna outsmart him. Stipe is gonna stay safe. He's definitely gonna try to wrestle Ngannou, get his arms tired, take some of the pop out of his shots. Then he's gonna try to drong him when he's tired, and I think that Stipe could do it. I really like Ngannou too, though. So honestly speaking, if Ngannou beats Stipe, okay, fine. I'm okay because I like Ngannou. I always back France. I love France. I always back France. But Stipe is my boy, and I hope he pulls this one through. And then Stipe versus John Jones. I'm backing Stipe. Let's go. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to like. Please remember to subscribe if you want to hear more content. Remember to ring that notification bell so you'll be notified anytime I post. And I'll see y'all in the next one.